Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite and most hated show, Up the Gut, with your host, Big Sexy David Lopes, and me, Brandon. It was just my birthday, Higgins. How you doing?
Yes.
Big
Yes.
3-4.
Finally 21, huh?
I know, right? I act like I'm 14, but I'm 34 years old now. It's a
hmm
good time, good time. Um, we are back with another episode. We know you guys love us. You know you love to hate us or love us, whatever it is. We're back.
Absolutely.
We're here to mess up your Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever it is. Oh, I dropped my pen that you are listening to this on. I got it.
You
I'm
know,
back.
I've gotten a lot of questions about this, and they're like, "Are you serious right now? Are you serious?" And they've thrown out a couple of teams, and I told them I'd think about it, and I did think about it, but then I went on living my life, and haven't thought about it since. So now we're here.
We're here. We're two Cowboys fans being we're like naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch. Here we
I'm
are, just
I-
being
I'm
happy.
I'm ready for mystery and assless chaps, baby. Let's do it.
Welcome to Jerry Jones' world of absolute what the fuck is going on. Speaking of which, that happened a couple times before we got on tonight of what the fuck is going on, and it better be something good.
The league is smoking crack. I swear to God. Mm.
As of right now, I don't have a yellow mail this week. I don't believe Lopes does either. God, it's backwards. None really too crazy. Nobody said anything too ridiculous. Nothing pissed me off to the point of where I wanted to do bad things. Uh, just breathe. Just breathe. That's like in the
Just
coming
move.
weeks when all the mock drafts start coming out and they're like, oh my God,
Mhm.
guess who the Cowboys are taking? 4 offensive linemen with the first 4 picks, and I start losing my fucking shit. So free agency kicked off. We are here. Things, started technically Monday.
Happy New Year.
Technically today was the start, or it was today. Technically today was the start, but legal tampering started on Monday, and everything got kicked off, and here we are. We're doing great things. People signing huge contracts they should never sign, and they're going to be released in like a year or two because they suck.
Mhm.
It happens every year. We're gonna see who it is this year. But anyways, we're gonna kick it off in the NFC East. And we're kicking off with the best team, America's team,
Mhm.
Big D, Dallas
Red, white, and blue.
Cowboys. In terms of signing, trading, everything like that, they haven't really made a ton of moves, and that's traditional with the Cowboys. They don't really jump at the gun. They did make a move in legal tampering for once when they signed Jalen Thompson from the Cardinals to a 3-year, $36 million contract to play safety for him, which is good. I'm not a huge Jalen Thompson fan. You could have got Nick Cross probably for fucking cheaper, who is a stat stuffer. But, we got Jalen Thompson. And then we traded for Rashawn Gary from the Packers. We just really love trading for the Packers players. Don't know why. We just want to be the Dallas Cowboy Packers because we love getting our fudge packed. Other than that, they did some other stuff, but nothing too crazy. A lot of just 1-year deals. You're just going to stay here for a year. Congratulations, you're a Cowboy. But other than that, nothing amazing. No Crosby, unfortunately.
Yeah, and they had a slew of guys, including a couple of dudes that play prominent roles with the team. All take pay cuts. That's something you just almost never see. Like all of them took pay cuts and said, you know what, let's get under the cap. Let's get some help in here because obviously the offense is something, but the defense is it's something else. So, but pivoting off of that, division rival, the New York Giants. I really don't know what they're doing, to be honest with you. They did lose Wandale Robinson to Tennessee and Dane Belton to the Jets. Those are really only two that are of any kind of noteworthy. They beefed up a little bit at the linebacker spot with Tremaine Edmonds. And then the biggest signing for them is Isaiah Likely. I think he's a lot more dynamic than what they had at tight end with Theo Johnson. But even if they keep Theo Johnson in the picture, the NFL is kind of going more towards the 2 tight end sets anyway, 3 tight end sets. So likely it'll just be in there with Theo Johnson. But that's really all the Giants have done thus far.
Yeah, they also got Patrick Ricard, so it's kind of them leaning that they might try to run the ball out of I formations a lot more this year, which is leaning into them actually really liking Jeremiah Love and going that 2-headed back with Jeremiah Love and Scadaboo this year. They did
Lucky
re-sign
for
Micah McFadden as well back to the team, and then they did get Greg Newsome, who could be a sneaky sign because he was looking pretty good until he got traded from the Browns to the Jags, and then or the vice versa, whichever way it was. But I'm pretty sure it was Browns to Jags last year.
Pretty sure,
It
yeah.
was him, Campbell. They switched, but they got him on a 1 year, $8 million. So more than Nashawn Wright got, and Nashawn Wright had a fucking great year.
Smoking crack,
anyways,
baby.
next team we got the Philadelphia Eagles. I hate them. I hate them so much. I hate every team in this fucking division. They really haven't done a ton either, besides lose basically every player that went to free agency to other teams. They decided they didn't want to come
They say
back.
I'm mad at it.
Yeah, well, because the Eagles were like, well, if you don't like the market and you want to take a pay cut, come on back. And they're like, why the fuck would I want to take a pay cut? Stop being greedy fuck. Stop trying to be the Cincinnati Bengals and fucking pay me. And they were like, no, you know what? If you don't like it, come back. If it isn't what you want, just come back and we'll give you a little bit less. They extended Jordan Davis, which puts, that D-line of what are they going to do with his counterpart, Jalen Carter, when his contract comes up, because that's a big contract. He got a 3-year, $78 million extension to play defensive tackle for them. And then they signed Tariq Woolen to a 1-year, $15 million deal. For whatever reason, I guess they really like Cooper DeJean in the slot, and they don't want to play him outside, and they just want to have Mitchell. And I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, you have a lot of other holes that you could have spent $15 million on, and corner is not one of them. So I wonder if they really believe in Cooper DeJean enough to keep him around when his contract's up, because they keep trying to trade for pieces to not move him to outside where, I think he'll end up testing the market when his time comes around. But other than that, they haven't really done much. NFC East stuff, the only team really doing much is the New York Ravens, like we just covered. Everyone falling hardball to New York. But, the Eagles are kind of just staying steady, hoping that their guys come home. None of them are coming home. So they're going to rely on that draft strategy that's been working on them for years. We'll see if they can hit it again.
Yeah, they've been gutted. At least their depth has been gutted. Nakobe Dean left. A couple other people. Dallas Goedert's still a free agent, so he might go back. He might not.
Yeah, I see.
But
no, I think he wants to test the market. I don't think he wants to go back.
Yeah, if he tests the market and it's like, you know what, I'll just stay, whatever. Now, a team that has been making a few moves, the Washington Commanders, they have 23 total guys that are out there on the free agent market so far, and only one of them has been signed. They lost Biotish to the Chargers. Other than that, they re-signed Marcus Mariota, re-signed Laramie Tunsil. They did get Adafi Owe. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, that's $100 million for that guy.
4 years, $100 million.
Jesus Christ. Okay. They did address every level. They got Adafi Owe. They did get Leo Chanel from Kansas City.
I really like Chanel.
I do too as well. And something I like even more than Chanel, Nick Voss, formerly of that garbage team in Indiana. He signed a big free agent contract to shore up the secondary for them. So they're filling some holes, not doing a whole heck of a lot, but everything they're doing is hitting so far.
Yeah, they also extended Larry Tunsil another 2 years, $60 million, which he might be the smartest offensive lineman in the entire world because he keeps being great, and then he only signs 2-year contracts because the market resets and then he gets top dollar every fucking 2 years. He is one of the smartest men because he knows he's not going to suck, so he knows he's going to keep getting paid. So he's like,
right.
I'm just this good. You guys just keep paying me every 2 years. I don't need stability in the length. Just keep paying me a lot of money. That's all I need. Smart man right there. And now we move our talents to the NFC North. And we're going to go with the Bears.
Bears.
Who, they let a couple guys go, which everyone thought that they were going to make a push for Crosby, which they didn't look like they were in the running there. They might still not be. I will get into that fiasco. But they did get Braxton Jones back, so they shored up that left tackle spot. They did trade for Garrett Bradbury, signed Devin Bush to fill in that slot that they let Tremaine Edmonds go, so they filled in the linebacker spot. And then they also signed Kobe Bryant to fill in for that safety spot that they lost Brisker for. So they're using free agency like you should. You fill in those spots and how you need to. They got Devin Bush for 3 years, $30 million for $10 million a year. Not bad for a starting linebacker. And then Kobe Bryant, 3 years, $40 million. Not bad for a starting safety. I mean, it's, what, $2 more than the Cowboys are paying Jalen Thompson? And he's coming off a Super Bowl. Other than that, I mean, they had their normal departures. They got rid of their players. I don't know if they still have something in the books that they're working on. I don't know if anything happened before I put all this down or after I put all this down, but they're making what they need to do. I'm not questioning what they're doing. They're kind of like getting rid of players that they had and getting new players in that might be exactly what they have already, but maybe a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know, they're building. They're building.
I mean, everyone's losing their mind. Oh my God, they lost DJ Moore.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, wide receiver was the deepest part of their team, and they were not be able to spread the ball around enough. So you get rid of what you have extra of, and on this part was DJ Moore. He's off to Buffalo, and they got stuff in return that they could use to fill other spots. So they're just doing work, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean DJ Moore went out anyways, so I mean it was kind of good. You know,
it's a win-win for both parties. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the Michigan Little Kitties, Detroit Lions, somebody that they lost. I mean, they lost Montgomery to Houston. That's pretty big in my opinion. They did sign Isaiah Pacheco to kind of offset that. If he's healthy, fine. If not, then you're kind of screwed. I don't really care about any of their other than just fillers. They did lose Anzalone, the linebacker. He's off elsewhere. And then somebody that I know that how I'm going to sound with this, Dan Skipper retired. He was like their de facto sixth lineman that could literally play anywhere on the O-line. And he even played tight end. So, I mean, he was an interesting part of that team that made him more versatile. He's gone now. So I don't know what they're going to do to try and offset some of the woes. They had to build the trenches anyway, and they're kind of losing these.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions, they took a little bit step back last year, and it looks like what they had rolling is not rolling anymore. I hope they're not going back into their Detroit fucking suck stage, because it's not a good look. I like the way Dan Campbell runs things up there. I like how he acts as a coach and stuff, but these moves and what's happening right now are not looking good. I mean, you're losing offensive linemen. Offensive linemen are asked to be released, like Taylor Decker. He wanted to be gone. He's like, I want out. Just get me out of here. Right. Which doesn't bode well for, what's actually going on up in Detroit. We'll see if they can right the ship. We have Pacheco instead of Montgomery now. Pacheco's not going to get mad if he doesn't get as many carries as Montgomery was getting mad. Well, there goes that 30 touchdown season everyone thought Gibbs was going to have after Montgomery's gone as well. So, next one we got up here is the Green Bay Packers. And they've done a whole lot of really nothing. Other than doing some tampering at the Combine with Brandon Aubrey's agents, which it doesn't seem like anything's going to come to tuition of that. Aubrey's still out there. Nothing's really happening with him. No one's really reaching out. I don't think they want to give up a second-round pick for a kicker. Nobody does. So if I just see the Cowboys end up signing Brandon Aubrey whenever the time comes to whatever contract is the highest paid kicker. Essentially whatever. Kyrie Fairbairn from, I think it was the Texans, end up getting paid. And technically he's the highest paid right now. So whatever the kickers end up being the highest, he'll end up being the highest after it. And then they traded for Zaire Franklin from the Colts because the Colts are in a rebuild, even though they don't know they're in a rebuild. So they're just giving up pieces. They're not re-signing pieces that they should. They're paying Daniel Jones way too fucking much money. And they're doing that. But other than that, the Packers are staying true, trading players away, not really making too many moves. They have they didn't re-sign Romeo Doubs. Let Romeo Doubs go. They were like, well, all the receivers are basically the same up there, so it doesn't really fucking matter. Yeah, I mean they lost like one or two offensive linemen in free agency. I know they lost Jenkins, but they're not really making too many moves. They're kind of just sitting still. They have a lot of money built into the players they already have, and then the Parsons deal last year kind of stuck them where they're at too in terms of money. So,
right, yeah, the guys that they did lose were pieces. Not overly important pieces, but they were just pieces. You know, they were depth. And then yeah, they re-signed Sean Ryan and traded for Zaire Franklin. They're just kind of sitting, like you said, they're just sitting pat right now, and I'm sure they're just trusting the process.
Yeah.
Uh, One team that apparently is not trusting the process is the Minnesota Vikings.
I don't know.
Wow, this a lot could change between the recording of this and the end of free agency. Apparently, they are the leaders in the clubhouse to land a one midget called Kyler Murray. Um, that's so many questions. Is he there to compete? Is he there as the number one? If he is there as the number one, and you say he's the number one, what happens with JJ McCarthy? Do you sit him? It's not like Kyler Murray's 30 years old. You know, so if you're signing this guy to a bag, you're probably going to want him there the entirety of the contract, which is going to be 3 or 4 years. What's going to happen with McCarthy after that? I don't think anybody's going to trade for him, not with his history. But that's hypothetical right now. What they did do is they did restructure Aaron Jones. They got a couple of guys, fillers. They lost Jalen Naylor. Ryan Kelly, the center, retired. They lost Javon Hargrave to Green Bay, so that was actually a bigger loss for them than a Green Bay gain, if that makes sense. And then the white boy wonder, Harrison Smith, potential future Hall of Famer, is mulling retirement. And they said if you don't make a decision by a certain date, we're probably just going to cut you.
I think no, they did cut him.
I think he's a post June 1, is it? I'm pretty sure he's mulling that. I'm pretty sure they designated him for post June 1, kind of just put him on notice saying, hey, take your time, but hurry up, like that kind of thing.
The way it was worth it is Smith hasn't decided on his plans for 2026. He's released. He can sign with another team, but if he wants to come back for less money, Minnesota's open to it. So I think it's really just him testing the market to see if anyone wants to pay him or bring him in, which I don't see why you wouldn't. Minnesota's just trying to find to save money everywhere, and it's not great. I like the J.J. McCarthy thing. The kid's played 10 games. He's played 10 games. Right. Your offensive line was so bad last year. They couldn't stay healthy. Brosmeyer, when he was in there, didn't do much better. He was a rookie, granted, undrafted, but like he was running for his fucking life too. The offensive line was horrible. I mean, it was.
Well, I mean, the offensive 40% of the starting offensive line was former Colt offensive linemen, so that should just tell you everything right there.
It just wasn't good. And then you expect, I guess, because Kyler Murray can run around more, but I mean, Jesus Christ, man, he can't see over the fucking line the way it is. Now we're moving down to the NFC South. And we're going to go to the Falcaroos, who are dummies. They have Tua Tagovailoa as their quarterback this year when Michael Penix comes back from another ACL injury. For 1 year, they're only paying him $1 million because the Dolphins are paying the other $50 million. So, I mean, technically you got a deal there. But you went from one left-handed QB to another left-handed QB, and it's not fucking great. They're both not great, so I don't know why you would do this. I don't understand.
Can't stay healthy.
I don't fucking get it. And then the other thing they signed is they signed Jahan Dotson to 2 years, $15 million. So I mean, other than that, I mean they lost. I'm pretty sure they lost Mooney. I don't think they brought Mooney back, so I guess he's going to take up that slot. I like Dotson. Yep. He didn't get a lot of playing time with the Commanders. Didn't get a lot of playing time with the Eagles. He was down on that depth chart. He was third at best, no matter what, in the Eagles. Here, he has a chance to at least be the number 2, so we'll see what he's got. He was a first-round talent. But, Eagles, the Falcons are just staying put with what they have. They're still trying to figure out the Pierce situation of how long he's going to be in jail. I'm calling it.
Right.
He's definitely going to jail. There's no fucking doubt
100%.
about it. After what he fucking did. Not allegedly, what he did. There's no alleged to it. When the cops are there from fucking the first second this starts happening, it's not alleged. I don't know.
Everyone's presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, well. They also released Kirk Cousins, so they're eating that cap for doing absolutely nothing with him. You might as well just started him this year, and just fucking got to start it over. Like you have Tua for 1 year. Why not just keep the guy you already had for 1 fucking year then? I don't understand the process here. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Matt Ryan, I don't know what you're doing.
I mean, if you thought the additions were bad, I mean they didn't have a whole heck of a lot on defense, but they did lose David Onyemata to the Jets and Caden Ellis to the Saints. Their defense wasn't great, but those were two of their key guys. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then they did lose Tyler Algier to Arizona, but I mean, you can get a backup running back wherever. One place that has backup running backs by the dozenful is in Carolina. The Panthers, they really only lost one person of any note. Rico Dowdle, he's out to Pittsburgh. They did overpay for Jalen Phillips. We were wondering who was going to make that wrong decision. Ended up being the Panthers. They signed Devin Lloyd and Isaiah Simmons. So I mean, their linebackers are going to be pretty decent. And I'm calling it right now. The signing of the offseason quarterback, one, Mr. Tiny Hands, Kenny Pickett.
Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. I mean, I feel like they did kind of overpay for Jalen Phillips a bit, but that's the market. I mean, that's the market, free agent market. Philly wanted to get him back for $20 million a year. Well, they were $10 million off. They wanted him back for $20 million. They were $10 million off. He's getting paid $30 million annually now. Whatever. I mean, Devin Lloyd also got paid 3 years, $45 million. They're really shoring up the defense. They believe so much in the offense that they're shoring up the defense, but like the offense, unless you have Young all perked up and getting it going there, I don't see it working too well.
Nope.
Especially, I guess Chuba Hubbard is the starting running back again there. I don't know what their plans are.
Yeah.
For there.
They can't be banking on Jonathan Brooks, can they?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. But at the same time, it's like, who else do they have?
That's an excellent question. But this dude, he's coming off of his ninth, and I'm being a little facetious, but this dude has chronic knee problems where it's kept him out years. I think the last time I saw him play was at Texas. I don't think I've seen him run in a real game in the NFL. And he was drafted years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, he toured in college before he came in the draft, and then he came back, and they rushed him back to see what they have, and he fucked up his knee again. So I mean, like, that's on them to fuck up the whole fucking
That's definitely
situation.
on the organization, but
yeah, that's on them fucking up the whole thing that happened there. So I don't know what the fuck they were doing. I don't get the point of it. But that's the Panthers for you. So there you go. Your new plaything is already gone. Next thing we got is the Saints over here. The Saints are marching in, daddy. They don't know what's going on with Kamara. He might have just ended up retiring because he said if he's traded, he's just retiring. He's pulling a Gronk. If you trade me, I retire. Because they just signed Travis Etienne to 4 years, $52 million, which is signaling they are going to move in a different direction. So Kamara, it's either you take the third down back or you retire. I don't know. So Kamara is on his way out one way or another, whether it's slow or fast. And then they signed Noah Fant to have fucking 4 tight ends on this fucking team. I don't know why they did that. That one doesn't make any sense to me. You could put that money somewhere else. You still have Taysom Hill. You still have Foster Monroe. You still have DeJuan Johnson. I don't understand why you just signed a 4th tight end who is struggling to pick up anywhere since he's been in the league. He's been traded, moved around. It ain't working. He's athletic, but I don't understand the move there from the Saints, if I'm being honest. So
he would be very athletic in the UFL. He would be amazing in the UFL. I'm just saying. Diago Pavia to Noah Fant for a touchdown. Both people in the stands are going crazy. They did lose to Mario Davis. He is an old prospect. I think he's like your age. But he was the defensive leader for them. And then they did lose Alontae Taylor to the Titans. They're another team that's in trouble of slipping back, and I know that they've committed to Kellen Moore and what he's doing, but I don't know. To me, you're just losing too much defense.
I don't understand some of the signings, but I believe in Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore made it work last year. I mean, the offense wasn't horrible. I mean, it's his first year, and he made Tyler Shuck look good. He got enough votes to actually be in the running for Offensive Rookie of the Year, even though he wasn't going to fucking win it. But, there we go.
Well, you know who's not winning Rookie of the Year? Anybody in Tampa. I can tell you that. Well, I mean, I know Emeka Ibuka, he just did work, but he's not a rookie anymore.
Dude,
so he can't win it again.
That fall off he had last year, though, was insane.
It was horrible. Yeah, but I mean, look at who his quarterback is.
Beautiful
speaking
man.
of that,
The Tom Brady of Johnny Manziel's. That's what that is.
Jesus Christ. They did lose a stalwart, a guy when he goes into the Hall of Fame will be going in as a Buck. Mike Evans, he's off to the West Coast. Logan Hall, Jameel Dean, they lost. Not too many. They did pick up Alex Anzalone, which is great. In my research for the mock drafts that I do, the Bucks linebackers led the league in missed tackles. So signing Anzalone, who's a tackling machine, is a great way to kind of fix that problem. And they did sign Kenneth Gainwell out of Pittsburgh, so just another also ran running back that they'll throw in there, and they'll see who's working that week and then go with it.
Yeah, I guess I want to do like the Steelers motto of just like, oh, Gainwell's around, just throw him in the game, whatever, just see what happens. Good luck, Bucky Irvin. You're gonna get some carries taken away.
Vaya con Dios.
Yeah, I mean, the offense isn't going to hinder itself by losing Evans. They might be okay. I mean, you got Godwin, who will be a year removed now, full year recovery. I mean, year 2 technically because he came back last year, but now he's back where athletes say you need about 2 years to get back to where you were with ACL tears. He's back. Otten's back. You still have Ibuka. I guess they really like Johnson that they had last year from Oregon. Mm-hmm. He filled in pretty well. And they have, I think they still have McMillan.
I think so. I don't think any of them are, none of them are the throw the ball up and let me go get it kind of guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the Buccaneers, and they aren't afraid just to draft wide receivers to draft wide receivers. They're obviously known to do it, so they might just draft another one this year. Who the fuck knows? Next up, we got the Arizona Cardinals, who are under new management, thank God, with the head coach. They do have the most beautiful quarterback in the entire league now, and it's just I'm jealous. I'm just so jealous. They got Gardner Minshew, 1 year, $5.75 million. I believed in Jacoby Brissett, but Gardner Minshew's in town, and pew pew, the mullet himself. If he brings it back, I think he's gonna take over. Got Tyler Algier, which is definitely gonna cut into James Conner's carries. James Conner took a pay cut so that Algier can be there to take his carries. 2 years, $12.25 million. People thought he'd get more, but I think he has starter caliber in him. He was just hidden behind Bijan. I thought he did good, even the year they drafted Bijan. I was like, why are you drafting Bijan? You at least have Tyler Algier. He's really good. Well, I can see why they drafted Bijan, but that's besides the point. Then they signed Isaac Salamalo. Yeah. That's how you say it. Yeah. 3 years, $31 million from the Steelers, so they are solidifying that offensive line to help actually do stuff on the ground and possibly in the air with the beautiful stash himself, Gardner Minshew. Other than that, nothing too crazy. Other than losing Jalen Thompson to the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, Calais Campbell, he's old, but he was a starter for them. Jonah Williams, Will Hernandez, Kelvin Beachum, they're all gone. Kyler Murray, they said, adios to him. So, I mean, Mike LaFleur is definitely shaping this team and addressing some needs to how he sees fit. But until I see it, I'm never going to believe it with the Cardinals because every year they do something. We're like, you know what? If they just do this, they'll be pretty decent. No, they're not going to, especially in the division they are. And honestly, the team that is in third in that division, in my opinion, potentially, the LA Rams, they only lost a couple dudes, and both of them just retired. So far, nobody has left the Rams and went to another team. So to me, I think that speaks volumes of that organization right there.
Yeah. They made trades. That's about it.
Oh, yes. They got Cameron Curl, David Quisenberry, and Tyler Higbee back. The big trade was actually, I think it was the first shocking moment of the offseason when they traded Kansas City for Trent McDuffie. They sent the 2026 first, 5th, 6th, and then a 2027 third for McDuffie and then signed him to an extension. They needed corner help. They got corner help. They're definitely trying to win now while the Stafford's still alive.
Yeah, they made McDuffie the highest paid corner, 4 years, $124 million. And then I don't know if you mentioned, I don't remember, that they also signed Jalen Watson.
I did not know.
3 years, $51 million. Did they still have Forbes from last year from the Commanders? They picked him up last year. They still keep him?
As far as ourlads.com, yes.
God, dude, that defense was crazy. He looked really good with them too. So that secondary
Yeah.
might actually turn into the no-fly zone if it meshes the way it should. Because
Mhm.
Watson and McDuffie have played together because they were both from the fucking Chiefs. So they already have
Right.
flow together, which is great for a defense when you're bringing new guys in. 49ers, they picked up Mike Evans and decided he's going to play for 3 more years apparently because they signed him to a 3-year contract. Don't get that. But,
Nope.
you do you. It could be one of those to where, after the first year it's void. I don't know. We'll see. And then they traded for Osa Odighizuwa from the Cowboys tonight before we started recording this, literally probably like a half hour before, for a 3rd-round pick they gave up for him, which is a significant pick. You can get a nice starter in the 3rd round. I wish the Cowboys got a 2nd, if I'm being honest. I'm not a huge fan of the trade as a Cowboys fan because I like the D-line the way it looked with the 3 that they were going to have. I hope the Cowboys have something planned. But they did get Osa Odighizuwa to seal up that defensive line, which he's coming from a 4-3. He was going to switch to a 3-4, but now he's going back to a 4-3. So I think it fits him a bit more, and they put him inside, and they fit the whole team. Other than that, though, not really a lot going on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, they didn't even lose that much. They lost Kendrick Bourne. He's off to Arizona, and Juwan Jennings is still a free agent. I think the big thing, they did trade for Odighizuwa. Now, the only thing I can say for the Cowboys is they are trying to get linemen and stuff that would fit that new 3-4 scheme. And there's a lot of dudes in this draft upcoming that fit a 3-4 or can fit in a 3-4. You just got to kind of hope that one's there when you're picking, and it's going to have to be in the 1st round. Because if you trade a Odighizuwa out and then you're in the 3rd round, you got these guys that are, I think you kind of lost that trade, in my opinion.
I don't know, because to me, the D-line is very deep in this class. And they could get lucky. Some guy slips through the cracks, and here we go. There's a guy in the 3rd round. There you go. I mean, they could still potentially trade, the 12th or 20th and get a 2nd round along with it, too, and kind of space it out, which I wouldn't be mad about if they traded 12 for more, but...
Get the 12th for like the 27th, 28th, and the 2nd round pick.
Especially if someone doesn't fall to them. It's like, all right, fine,
right.
just trade back, get some more capital.
Well, you know who doesn't need more cap? The team that just won the fucking Super Bowl, the Seattle Seahawks. They did lose a couple big pieces, though. They did re-sign Rashid Shaheed, Josh Jones, and Joshua Joe. Big losses, though. Kobe Bryant, as you said, to the Bears. Tariq Woolen to Philly. Boy Mafi off to Cincinnati to replace Trey Hendrickson. And then the Super Bowl MVP, the one that the GM said was on the stage in the Super Bowl talking to him about how he loves Seattle and wants to work on the extension as soon as possible. Well, he's going to go and play in Kansas City. This is still a Super Bowl roster. They still have a Super Bowl quarterback. They still have a very good front office, great coaching staff. I'm not overly worried. I think that everyone that they did lose can be replaced to a certain point, but it's not great so far for the defending champs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about them, though. I mean, it is the defending champs. The running backs are going to be hurting a little bit unless they pick up another guy because Charbonnet is coming off the ACL tear, so they're not going to have a great running game when they first come out. He'll be back eventually at some point next year, but they are going to have to find someone to fill in that spot at some point. Who's not going to have to fill a spot at running back is the Buffalo Bills. And you know what they don't have to fill too? The wide receiver spot, because they traded for DJ Moore. Josh Allen finally has a true number 1 wide receiver in Buffalo. That is not 100 years old. I think he's going to be 28, whatever it is. DJ Moore still fucking has it. You could say his numbers were down last year, but I can fucking point out to you at least 5 to 10 fucking times he's standing there wide open, and Caleb fucking Williams does not see him because he's in the pocket and he can't throw in the fucking pocket. All of Caleb Williams' great throws are come just running around and just tossing it up and getting fucking lucky because the defender's like, there's no way. Oh my God, there it goes. Because you don't expect it. You think he's going to get sacked or something. Great on him making those plays, but Josh Allen finally has a number 1 wide receiver. And they were competitive for Trey Hendrickson, all right? They were competitive. They were in it to the end. And they didn't fucking get him. But other than that, They also signed Connor McGovern back, so they got him back as their center. So they're going to keep that offense together. The offense is getting better, but Matt Milano is out there, and he was a key part of that defense that they didn't resign.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what happens with them.
Yeah, and the defense wasn't that great to begin with, and honestly, this may be a good thing, but they lost a couple key guys in the secondary. Teron Johnson out to Vegas, and Darnell Savage out to Pittsburgh. Anytime that you actually have to say Cole Bishop's name anywhere near the starting lineup, there's time to panic. And that's kind of where they're at. I don't really care for Cole Bishop. He's average. There's nothing great about him. There's nothing terrible about him. But
he's better than
if
DeMar
you're trying,
Hamlin, so
yeah, I'll give you that. And then they did get Bradley Chubb too, massive contract.
Oh yeah, they just signed him tonight.
Yeah,
they did. So they missed out Trey Henderson, but they got Bradley Chubb. They got an older guy to rush the passer to go along with their old guys to rush the passer.
So they might be, they might be the same on defense. You know, they still might be the Cowboys of the AFC. They can score with anybody, but they can also let anybody score on them. So, you know who else can get scored on anytime that the other team wants? The worst team in football, Miami Dolphins. Oh boy,
not good, Bob.
Not good. No. They did. I'm not going to go over every single one. Not even like the Minkah Fitzpatrick. That's the only other one I'm going to mention, even though he's not the only name. Let me just break this down for you, for the people that either don't like Miami or don't know about Miami's situation. They overpaid for arguably the worst quarterback ever drafted in the NFL, besides Jamarcus Russell. They paid him an absorbent amount of money that they're going to have to spread over 2 years. So what do? They go and spend an absorbent amount of money on a quarterback that has, 7 starts?
He also only has 28 drop pack passes if you take away RPOs and pop passes and stuff. He has 28 passing attempts in his entire career.
I think he signed for 30-some million, so that means over $1 million for each throw.
He signed 3 years, $67.5 million, with $45 million guaranteed.
It's worse than I thought it was. It was worse than I thought it was. Holy Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all that. I mean, that's Miami in a nutshell, right there. They got Greg Dortch.
God, they're in a rebuild, and they just signed a guy to a starting QB salary. Right there of like, hey, potential to be our starter. You should have just signed. You should have just stuck with Ewers for the year, and
they've been in a rebuild for a decade.
Move on your fucking losses, because I mean, at that fucking point, I mean, like, at this point, you have to think: did Mike McDaniel make Tua look good that he got that contract? And my answer is yes, because that's the only fucking way he got that contract to begin with. It's absolutely insane. But you know who doesn't have to worry about QB play? New England Patriots, baby.
Say it.
Drake May. And Drake May got some help. He got Romeo Doubs. I think they overpaid for him 4 years, $70 million. For a guy who had 6 touchdowns and only like 600 yards last year, and he wears that dumb fucking cap. But they did sign Elijah Vera Tucker to help out that offensive line, because thank God we saw what happened in the freaking Super Bowl to that. To 4 years, $42 million with $21 million guaranteed. So Vera Tucker gets to play the Jets twice a year and be like, "Fuck you guys! I can finally fucking win games. This is crazy."
Watch them lose both games to the Jets next year.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't think there was really anything too fantastic that they did besides sure up those ones. You might have something that I might have missed, but
so I'm gonna bore everyone to tears and have a little O-line talk. So Garrett Bradbury, their starting center last year,
that's
retired.
On the Bears now.
Is he? Yes. Sorry,
yeah.
I was looking at somebody else that retired. That was my fault. I can't even read my own fucking writing. Garrett Bradbury off of Chicago. He's off elsewhere. To me, that's an addition by subtraction. Garrett Bradbury, he's out of the center spot, not only the center. The guy that was playing guard for them last year, Jared Wilson, he was a center at Georgia.
Was that rookie that was paired next to Campbell? Okay.
Yes, you are 100% correct. Now he can move back over to his natural position at center. They put Elijah Vera Tucker, a veteran and All-Pro, right next to Will Campbell, and all of a sudden, 60% of your offensive line, you probably don't have to worry about too much. The little T-Rex arms are still a worry, but if he can work on technique and maybe a year experience, he'll be able to get better. But yeah, I think that was addition by subtraction. Romeo Dobbs, they may have overpaid for him, but he's still. I think he can still be another Mac Hollins like ish guy. It's definitely another piece to the puzzle. Um, Now, speaking of the Elijah Vera Tucker, his old home, the New York Football Jets. I honestly, I've made a phone call into the White House and FBI because they are holding a man hostage and they're doing it publicly, and no one's doing a thing about it. I don't know what the hell's going on. Poor Brees Hall, he's still there.
Poor my
He's
fantasy
going to be
team.
there. He's just it's Hotel California. They did lose Elijah Vera Tucker. They lost Jermaine Johnson in the trade with the Titans where they got Devontae Sweat. So they're definitely just trying to retool that D line. But as of right now, the Jets have as many offensive guards as what's on this podcast right now.
It's not good.
They lost John Simpson, starter last year. Elijah Vera Tucker's gone. He was a starter last year. The offensive line is the only good part of your fucking team. And now they're gone.
They were.
And then they traded for Geno Smith. So, I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick is there. Congratulations. I don't know where they're going.
Well, they also signed Demario Davis, the linebacker from the Saints. So that helps out your linebacker situation. And then they signed Nahshon Wright to fill in, I guess, from what Sauce was doing. But he only signed a 1-year, $5 million deal. Another prove-it deal after he just had a prove a year. But I guess people weren't buying in because of what he was in Dallas, which makes sense. So we'll see if that pans out, though, because usually corners who find success somewhere and then go somewhere else, it doesn't really work out. We've seen it so many times where it just doesn't pan out. We've seen it happen with Nnamdi Asomugha, where he went from the Raiders to the Eagles. That just didn't pan out. And then the other corner that went... crap. I think it was with the Panthers. He got stiff-armed by Derrick Henry. I can't think of his name.
We're talking about the guy from Coastal Carolina who went to Washington afterwards. Josh Norman?
Josh Norman, who got stiff-armed into oblivion. Yeah. Amazing, breakout, amazing, goes to another team, sucks. We've seen it happen so many times, though. It's inevitable. So, people who don't have corner issues are the Baltimore Ravens. But they do have trading and trust issues.
Yeah. Bad practice, baby.
For the love of God. They had a epic deal. Max Crosby, here he comes, come to the city. Everyone's happy. Some guy said he would shave his head if they traded for Max Crosby. They traded for Max Crosby. He shaved his head. He's probably really fucking pissed off right now. Max Crosby is back with the Raiders because the Ravens automatically found something wrong with his knee. And it's crazy because the next day they signed Trey Hendrickson to 4 years, $112 million after backing out of the trade. These cold feet are just absolutely crazy. A lot of people are pissed off at the Ravens because this isn't something that you do where like you get cold feet, you back out of the trade. Apparently they knew about the injury and the timetable and everything before they made this trade. Everyone knew about this. Here we fucking are. And the Ravens are losing all their players to free agency on top of that. Their only addition really, truly is Trey Hendrickson, and it's not going to fill all the other holes that they have lost from everyone in free agency. The offensive line's fucked now with Lindenbaum gone. They got to fill that hole. Likely's gone, and Mark Andrews on his last leg. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, unless they're trying to strip it down to the studs, but why would you do that with a team that could easily win the division, that gets the prime of Lamar Jackson's career, Derrick Henry's in the twilight of his career? I don't get it. But yes, and Eric DeCosta came out, their GM, and said, that's on me. That's on, I really wanted to make this happen. We actually wanted to trade for Max Crosby and sign Trey Hendrickson.
I don't know how the fuck they would have did that. That would have been crazy.
I have no idea.
I don't have the fucking money. There's no way you have the fucking money for that.
it was a half-baked lie that he had to just tell the media to get something out of it. But
So
of
dumb.
course he ends it with, "But we're moving on." Yeah, of course you want to move on. It's a black fucking eye for you.
You don't have a fucking
Um,
choice. Yeah, you have to move on, but no one's gonna forget
yeah,
you're an idiot.
exactly. Speaking of idiots, Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh,
Uh, Trey Hendrickson off. He's off to Buffalo, like we had talked about. They didn't really lose anybody of any kind of relevance. They also didn't really do anything that really jumps out except for the contracts. Um, Dalton Reiser, he'll be an upgrade in that offensive line over what it could have been if he didn't sign there. And then Boy Mafi, the defensive end, is there now too. I'm pretty sure um, he just signed a ridiculous contract. But the Bengals, I think they kind of decided to hit the snooze button on the whole offseason because they ain't doing shit.
yeah. They signed Mafe to 3 years, $60 million, and then Brian Cook 3 years to $40.25 million. They're finally spending money. They won't do it on their own fucking players, but they'll do it on fucking random guys that had a good
Jesus
year.
Christ.
Yeah. Well, you know.
This is like this is like people saying, you got to spend money to get the girl, but then you go down to Wilkes-Barre and you get a hooker, buy her a lobster dinner. You're not spending it wisely.
Who is buying a hooker a
I
lobster
don't
dinner?
listen. My past is my past. All right, I didn't know. All right, I swear.
I hope she was a nice hooker. I don't know, man.
Well, she smelled a lot like that dead lobster did. So I mean,
Yeah, things were a little fishy on that one. Things are also a little fishy with the Browns. They have signed a bunch of offensive linemen because they lost all of their offensive linemen.
they did.
Only one of them came back. That was Tevin Jenkins. They did trade for Titus Howard. They did pick up Zion Johnson and then Elton Jenkins. So they had to rebuild that entire offensive line, and they had to pay these guys to want to come to fucking Cleveland. When they traded for Howard, they extended him to a 3 year, $63 million deal. Zion Johnson got 3 years, $49.5 million, and then Elton Jenkins got 2 years, $24 million, with $20 million guaranteed. So they had to pay these guys to come in because they had nobody to block for anybody in this shithole of a fucking franchise. Other than that, they really have just been focusing on the offensive line. I don't think they really made any crazy moves. So
No, they didn't. And then they did lose Devin Bush to Chicago, and then they have 19 other free agents that nobody has signed yet. That's including Joel Patonio and Wyatt Teller. You mean to tell me that those dudes aren't worth like a 1 year deal, $2-3 million as a swing guy or a backup guy? Like you can't use that kind of veteran on your roster.
they'll sign somewhere. There's no doubt about it. It's just time. It's just time. They might literally be weighing their options of waiting for a Super Bowl contender because they've just been in this shithole for too fucking long where they're just not going to settle for anything less. Don't fucking blame them.
Yeah, well, I mean, the one another team that doesn't really have too much time, the Pittsburgh Steelers. This team is getting older by. It seems like they're aging 10 years every fucking day it passes. They did lose a few dudes. The biggest one being Isaac Simualu to Arizona. He was a pretty good part to their offensive line. They didn't pick anybody up so far as the yardage is concerned. They did extend Cam Hayward, so he'll be there until he retires. They are trying to fix their god awful secondary with Jamil Dean and Asante Samuel. They got Rico Dowdle, so he'll be in the backfield for them at least part time. And then they got a number 2, I guess. Depends on who you talk to and how they see him. They did trade for that shit team in Indy for Michael Pittman Jr. And I'm pretty sure, they didn't come out with what pick it is just yet. It's just be a late round pick.
Yeah, I mean, you basically touched base on everything with the Steelers. I mean, Pittman is going to be their number 2. I mean, they don't really have anyone else. Roman Wilson didn't pan out. Calvin Austin is not a number 2. He's definitely a deep threat, but that's about it. And then they have like 3 tight ends. Don't know what they're doing there with that one. They started using Jonnu Smith in the backfield. They have no idea what to do with him. And then Washington is just a offensive tackle playing tight end, just to eat into Freiermuth's freaking playing time at that point. So I don't know what's going on. I think they're still trying to get Rodgers back to play QB for them.
Mm-hmm.
I would retire or go elsewhere. I don't fucking know. I'll go to Minnesota. I'll play with Justin Jefferson my final year and just end it on a high note of just making him the most receiving yards in a fucking career or in a season right there past Megatron.
He'll be cheaper than Murray. I can tell you that.
And at least give fucking McCarthy a chance to like mentor behind someone who actually mentor him. So
yeah,
I don't know. All right. Well, Steelers have problems quarterback, and also has problems at quarterback. The Houston Texans, but they don't want to fucking admit it. They are making moves though. They did trade for David Montgomery to see what the hell they're doing in that backfield. I guess. They're not going to re-sign Chubb. They do have Woody Marks, so you get Montgomery with that. They did sign Trent Brown, one of the tallest offensive linemen, to a 1-year, $7 million deal. They re-signed Ed Ingram, 3 years, $37.5. They did extend Daniel Hunter for a year and $40 million to keep him in there. They did get White Chocolate, Reed Blankenship back there. 3 years, $24.75 million. Gonna miss the exciting Whites in Philadelphia. The only good part about that entire team is gone. And then I keep seeing things that Brandon Smith signed with them, but then Brandon Smith's still available. I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
He's there.
He's there? Okay, yeah. 2 years,
He's there.
$25 million is what else I was seeing. They obviously saw that their offensive line is not great, and they're trying to fix that. Well, also, their quarterback isn't great, but they're not trying to fix that. So good luck.
Yeah, their offensive line wasn't great, so naturally they just lose a few pieces off that offensive line. Titus Howard off to Cleveland, and then Juice Scruggs, I believe he's a Penn State fanboy. He's off to Detroit. But yeah, they re-signed a bunch of dudes. They're trying to retool that offensive line. Brady Smith's going to go in there at the right tackle spot. Trent Brown re-signed. Danielle Hunter, like you said. They're still going to be the class of the AFC South the way it sits right now. I don't necessarily trust the Jaguars, which we'll touch on them when things come up. But I mean, they fixed the O-line enough where Stroud can't do anything other than succeed, and I think they'll be okay.
Yeah,
I mean, they're gonna get healthy. And for the love of me, I can't think of that receiver who got his knee destroyed.
Tank Dell.
Thank you, Tank Dell. He'll be back. What kind of Tank Dell are we gonna get? I don't know, but at least he'll be back.
Not saying much.
You know who won't be back? Me. With this fucking team right here, the shittiest team in at least the AFC South, the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I'm going to try and keep I already took my blood pressure pills, so we should be okay with me stroking out. Knock on wood. One of my I always complain that you always have to overpay dudes to want to come to Indianapolis. They overpaid Daniel Jones. They did pay Alec Pierce, which is great. That's fine. But then you trade away his running mate, his Robin. You try to replace people with Colby Wooten and Arden Key. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Now, let's get into the exciting stuff, shall we? Tell me why any Indianapolis Colt fan would be happy when your head coach and your GM are on the verge of getting fired. Michael Pittman Jr. off to Pittsburgh. Braden Smith off to Houston. Kwity Paye off to Vegas. Gilliam, backup offensive line or defensive lineman, he's out of there as well. You trade Zaire Franklin to Green Bay for a bunch of fucking cheese curds, and your leading tackler for the last couple of years, Nick Cross, off to Washington.
Yay!
So I don't rage out. I need you to take that because. What the fuck, dude?
I mean, the fucking Colts, they got Daniel Jones and Alec Pierce back. That's about it. They lost everyone else. They gave Daniel Jones way too much fucking money to just eat up that entire cap and just ruin the fucking franchise.
And here's my prediction. They're going to be either average or really bad next year. Steichen, gone. GM Ballard, gone finally. Then they're going to strip it down to the studs. There goes Jonathan Taylor. There goes Quentin Nelson. There goes oh, what the fuck is his name? There's been rumors circulating because I'm still unfortunately a part of some of these chat boards. There have been multiple people going around saying that the Colts are talking about trying to trade Sauce Gardner.
They just got him
They just got the fucker
for two
for two
first.
first round picks. Yeah.
That would be so retarded. I wouldn't be a fan. I could never be a fan at that point. I was like, what are you guys doing?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god. I hope that's not true because that would just be so retarded. That would be so retarded. Oh my fucking
It's like
god.
they have the GM from the movie Draft Day who's in Jacksonville. The dude who's literally shitting his pants.
Well,
I wash my hands of it. I wash
speaking
my
of
hands of it.
Jacksonville
Yeah.
is, I guess, shitting their pants because they're doing absolutely nothing else. They haven't done shit. They are the Cowboys this year. They have not done a damn thing except lose everyone to fucking free agency and didn't sign anyone back. They made a trade with the fucking Browns last year for Greg Newsome. Didn't sign him back. Didn't sign Devin Lloyd back. Didn't try Travis Etienne. Didn't sign him back. They haven't done anything. They're like, we're good. We are content to where we're going to end up probably first in this division because everyone else sucks, and we'll at least get a playoff game. You know, we'll compete with the Texans. We're not competing with the Colts. We're not competing with the Titans. I don't care how much the Titans spend. We'll just compete for first with the Texans and go with maybe a winning record. You know,
Dude, this is why I said Houston was going to be the division because of the moves that the Jaguars made. Stop me when you recognize the name: Dennis Gardeck, Quinton Morris, and DJ Dallas. That's the entirety of their.
I know who. I only know who Gardick is from playing Madden. He's a linebacker. He's not good,
and on their
but I know who
and
he is.
on their website they have him listed as a DN. Quentin Morris is a tight end, and DJ Dallas is a running back.
Oh, I know who DJ Dallas is. He's from Seattle. They liked him a little bit, and then they got rid of him this past year. I don't know where he played last year.
I like him in the same amount that you like this chick down the road because she doesn't use her teeth when she blows you. But you're not gonna.
Well, you know, it's toot and show because he's tooting his horn out there. I mean, that's what he got going on.
So not to toot my horn, but I did say that Tennessee was going to be bold, and they certainly are bold. They Gus Bradley, Brian Daboll, and Robert Slay. I have more hair on my tiny nutsack than they do on the entirety of their bodies. They did lose their tight end, Chig Akawara.
Some of the Commanders.
Yeah, he's with the Commanders, yeah. And then Arden Key and Devondre Sweat, they lost. Devondre Sweat, they actually traded.
Yeah.
And then they got Jermaine Johnson. Big signing for them is Wan'Dale Robinson. They're still in the rebuild. Definitely a full rebuild. Second straight team that I let off with that.
Well, they signed Wan'Dale Robinson to 4 years, $78 million.
Oh.
It doesn't get better. Hold on. It doesn't get better. They signed Alontae Taylor to 3 years, $60 million. And then they signed Cordell Flott to 3 years, $45 million. They spent a shit ton of money. And it's not on premier players at all. So they're building?
They're building a hut out of straw and mud is what they're doing. But they're paying premium prices for it.
Yeah, they have to pay premium prices because nobody wants to go to fucking Tennessee, which I don't fucking blame them. But yeah, that's their biggest one was Wan'Dale Robinson, and everyone's like, what? He might be the Christian Kirk where they overpaid and he ends up somewhere else in like a year or two. Back with the Giants probably, because what else is he gonna fucking do? I don't understand that signing. Another team that is just signing to sign. I don't know why they did it, but they brought J.K. Dobbins back because Sean Payton hates Harvey for whatever fucking reason. So J.K. Dobbins is back. I feel bad for any R.J. Harvey dynasty holders on this one because he's got a 2-year, $20 million. He is getting top running back dollars. He's getting $10 million a year. And that's about your top running back market right now. And then they signed Alex Singleton back, who is getting less money than J.K. Dobbins at 2 years, $15.5 million. And he's like their starting linebacker that they had last year. And he's getting less money than Dobbins. Explain that one. Other than that, not anything. People thought maybe they'd get a wide receiver. Maybe they would move Sutton. Maybe they do this. Maybe do that. They aren't doing shit.
Yep.
They're just bringing in the guys that they had last year. They had a great season last year. They were Bo Nix away from being in the Super Bowl, honestly, because of how bad the Patriots were playing down the stretch. Bo Nix in that game, I think, well, he loves Bo Nix so much, he might have made enough plays, but Stidham was not going to win you that game in the snow. But they're not really doing much. They're kind of just staying still.
No, they didn't really lose anybody. They're kind of just staying still. Like, the biggest loss they had was John Franklin Myers. Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about it.
Now, a team that people give a fuck more about the singer that the one dude's dating than the actual team, Kansas City Chiefs. They may be loading up for the greatest first round exit anybody has ever seen. They brought back Bieniemy to be the offensive coordinator. Travis Kelce is giving it one more year at least, and then they did sign Kenneth Walker to solve their running back issue. But they did lose Minshew. They did lose Pacheco. Leo Chanel was huge. Trent McDuffie was huge. This is the team that they are the AFC version of the Rams. Their window is almost closed, in my opinion, and I wouldn't be surprised if they signed Tyreek Hill later on in the summertime to give it one last drive towards.
Yeah, it seems like they're going back to their old ways of really focusing on offense to win them games and not putting a lot of effort into the defense by letting Chanel go, trading McDuffie, not really bringing in any defenders in terms of this free agency and really just focusing on bringing those offensive guys. I see Tyreek Hill going there once he recovers or whatever the hell they decide to do with him, especially with fucking Rice doing whatever the fuck he's doing over there. But yeah, they seem like they're just going back. They're going to rely on Mahomes, rely on Kelce, rely on the firepower of that offense to get him through another season and really try to push him to the Super Bowl, like one last go around with the boys. But I mean, they gave Walker 3 years, $45 million, and then they're giving Kelce 1 year, $12 million. That can go up to $15 or $16 million. So they blew all the money that they fucking already got from redoing Mahomes' contract. So not really much to give them on defense there. Who else is blowing their fucking load because they thought they had a lot of money to spend and now they really don't, is the Raiders. They thought they had a lot of money to spend after getting rid of Crosby. Well, Crosby's back in town, and they got to find a way to make that work, or they got to find a way to trade him again. They signed Jalen Nailor to a 3-year, $35.03 million contract. Tyler Lindenbaum, 3 years, $81 million for a center. Nakobe Dean, 3 years, $36. Quay Walker, 3 years, $40.5 million. They traded for Teron Johnson, and then they also signed Eric Stokes at 3 years, $30 million. So they were blowing their load. They were like, we got money to spend. We're going to fucking... It's like you gave your girlfriend your credit card, and you're like, go have fun. You're like, oh, maybe I should spend like $200-$300. It comes back maxed out. And you're like, what the fuck did you buy? And it's like, everything. I look so good, though. It doesn't go well. It doesn't fucking go well. I think they'll still have a way to work it with Crosby being there. I mean, they'll find a way to make it work. Crosby may want to stay more now because they actually have a team that can compete. The linebackers are a lot better this year with Dean and Walker there. You still have Porter there, a corner, but then you had Stokes and Johnson there. Safety, I think they still have Chin, so the defense is looking a lot better. They can do something with that defensive line. But I also hear that they are going to make a run at Kirk Cousins to come in and mentor Mendoza, the projected first overall pick. He's going first overall. They're not going to bring in Cousins and then just not do anything. So
that's the thing. Like the NFL Network had the insiders on, and Tom Pelissero has stated that Kirk Cousins' camp is going to take their time. Kirk Cousins, no matter where he goes, he wants two things. He wants a clear direction of what he is. Is he coming in to be the starter, or is he coming in to be the mentor, emergency guy? But no matter what his role is, he wants $10 million a year.
Honestly,
That's it.
honestly, if he's like, I just want 10 million and I want a clear direction. I mean, if they tell him and they're like, you're going to start in the beginning and we're going to work our way to get Mendoza ready, and that's what it's going to be. You're going to mentor him as you're starting. We're going to get him ready and ease him in, and you're going to get paid X amount of dollars, and he knows how it's going to be, and it's not going to be like one of those things of where like you're on a short leash because you have the rookie behind you. Well, the rookie's going to be behind you. This is how it's going to go. We're going to put him in eventually during the season, unless you're completely cooking. Unless you are just winning games and you're putting up massive amounts of stats, be expected to get pulled out of games, and then, you know, he's going to go in. Kind of like a Russell Wilson to Jackson Dart thing.
Yes.
But Russell Wilson, I don't think ever expected to get pulled because he's retarded and he thinks he's God, and he's not. He hasn't been good since Seattle traded him, and they did it at the right time. But I hear that he's going to probably end up there, which isn't horrible. He'll be a good mentor. He'll be like, this is how you steal a lot of money from people, is you get to be good for a little bit and then make them believe that you're good by making, I don't know, 4 good plays a year, and then they give you money. And he's like, just do it that way. Just do it that way.
And you'll be rich. Your kids will be rich.
Yeah.
So one more team here. I don't know if you consider him your mistress, but he's definitely your side guy. Justin Herbert. They are trying their hardest to make this team look so much like that Michigan team that Harbaugh had when they cheated their way to the championship. They have done nothing but sign big beefy dudes.
Big beefy dude.
Big beefy. And normally I wouldn't put down anything about a fullback. I would look at it and then forget about it 2 seconds later. But it's the Chargers with Harbaugh. They signed Alec Ingold, who's I'm better known fullback in the league. But then they just beefed up. O-lineman, Trevor Penning, Cole Strange, Kyler Biotis, re-signed Trey Pippins. They added a couple guys back on that D-line, and they did lose Zion Johnson. But with Slater and Alt coming back healthy, with the additions that they made, that O-line should be much, much better.
Well, they also released Mekhi Becton. He's gone.
Yeah.
Which he didn't have a great year with them. Maybe Philly picks him up, you know, where he had his greatest success, you know. I usually don't do fullback signings, but Patrick Ricard up in the Giants, that made sense because, you know, Ricard plays everywhere. He'll play D-line. And then Ingold, he's one of the better. You don't really see fullbacks too much anymore, but with Harbaugh, it's a signing. It was 2 years, $7.5 million. They actually got good deals on the offensive lineman that they picked up too. They traded for Penning last year, but they got him back on a 1 year for $3.5 million. So kind of a prove it deal.
Yeah.
Big dude. Cole Strange, 2 years, $13 million. That's not horrible.
That's not bad for a first round pick.
Yeah, and then Tyler Biotis, who is a starting caliber center in the league, went from the Cowboys to the Commanders. 3 years, $30 million. So $10 million a year for a starting center. You're not going to fucking... You just saw what the Raiders just paid... Or was it Raiders? Paid Lindenbaum. It was Raiders, Lindenbaum.
Yeah.
3 years, $81 million. Well, they got him for $51 million less. Lindenbaum's obviously better than Biotis, but, you know, here we are. You couldn't get much worse than what the Chargers had last year. And then they also got Khalil Mack back on a 1 year, $18 million deal.
Yep. And I've seen a couple of mock drafts that have the Chargers landing Vega Ione at Penn State, the guard. Can you imagine if they inserted him onto that O-line? Like, Marion Hampton must be just chomping at the bit. Like, God damn.
I mean, Justin Herbert should be chomping at the bit because he'll have more than fucking -5 seconds to throw the ball.
Yeah.
The man was sacked before he even got the fucking ball half the time. I mean, you get both your tackles back, Slater and Alt. Boom. Already better. You got Biotis in center. Boom. Already better. Penning and Strange, you know, I don't think they were much worse, or they are worse than what they had last year. Penning was there, but he didn't have a lot of time to get acclimated. But if you draft the guard from Penn State, boom, you actually have an offensive line. Holy shit. And then they could work with McConkey and Johnson, and I thought didn't they pick up a tight end too?
May have. I just didn't write it down because
I thought they picked up a tight end. I thought it was weird.
it was a tight end that is more of a blocker,
Oh,
in
was
my
it
opinion. Just
Kohler?
yeah,
The guy
the
from
kid out of
the
Notre
guy from
Dame.
the Ravens, right? Kohler, Charlie
Yeah,
Kohler.
he was
Yeah,
he was more of the a blocker because they have
which
Rondé
makes sense.
Gaston as their
Yeah,
receiver.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, like those guys should be trying. I don't know what Keenan Allen's doing. I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know what's happening there. But either way, I mean, they'll actually be able to work with Mike McDaniel's offense, and Mike
hmm
McDaniel gets to work with a quarterback who actually has a good arm. So that's going to be interesting for this team this year. I'm excited for the team. Honestly, I'm excited to see if Mike McDaniel is as good as we thought he was, and then Tua dragged him
hmm
down, because that's kind of what I'm thinking, and he made Tua look as good as he did because Tua just is not good. I don't know if Tua was as bad before he started becoming brain dead and Mike McDaniel started looking him good, making him look good, or if like Mike McDaniel just couldn't make Tua look any better than what he did because Tua couldn't remember his own name half the time. So we'll see what happens with that.
So before Tua's head exploded multiple times, he had a limp noodle arm.
That never changed.
Your offense can only be so creative when it's either a deep ball to Tyreek Hill, who it's physically impossible to overthrow, or it's a bunch of just trick plays with some check downs and rub routes and stuff like that. The dude can't throw 15 to 20 yards downfield. It's going
No.
to limit you.
Yeah, well, now Mike McDaniel has a quarterback who could probably throw it 70 yards downfield, so that's going to be interesting to see with that. Um, no other giant news. Nothing broke while we were doing this. Nothing crazy. Other than the news of next week, our first mock draft. Because Lopes will die if we don't fucking do one. He might literally die. I could do one the week before the draft and be very happy. It doesn't matter to me. I'll just do one and done type of guy. This guy,
Yep.
we'll probably end up doing like two more after that because we have to. Lopes will
We
die.
have to.
He's
We
got to
will.
pick something to do sometimes, and it's always
Yeah.
mock draft. We could have did a mock draft week 1 of last year's season, and he would have been happy.
Accurate. Yeah. And
So
let me tell you, I finished my rankings. I sent you the picture. I have my rankings. Everybody's ranks, number 1 to number 427. It's all in here. I don't know if the camera. Yep, right. This is my. No, it's just a Cowboys logo. Maybe it's too far.
it's your
Anyway,
handy
here's my
dandy
notebook.
notebook.
My handy dandy notebook. It has everything in there. Rankings. Jeremiah Love is of course number 1. I After I did the rankings, I did do a 7 round mock, and then with the guys that I had, this is before free agency, I assigned dudes to teams that I thought they would fit with as undrafted free agents and camp invites. So as you can tell, I don't have any kids or any other real interest in life other than occasionally saying hello to my wife and petting my cat once a month. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm excited to do this mock draft. And no, that's not a euphemism. I have an actual cat. He's awful adorable. His name is Ben.
He does. He does. I wish it was a euphemism. It'd be a lot hotter if it was, but he actually does have a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna do one next. We'll figure out which one we're gonna do. We have a couple ideas of how we want to do mock drafts. Obviously, they're gonna change as pro days come along, and teams making trades for picks and stuff like that. But we'll have next week. We'll have a mock draft, and then probably one or two more. We'll see what happens. I mean, the draft is gonna come up pretty fast because we only do this once a week, anyways.
We are under
Yeah.
50 days, baby.
Yeah. We'll have our
Mm.
final one the day before we leave to go
Smart,
to the
yeah.
draft. So that
Mhm.
that one will be the final one. We could do I don't know, a 2 or 3 round mock draft if you really want to spice things up there. So yeah, next week will be our first official mock draft. Lopes is envisioning this in his head for days, and he is sweating, getting all hot and bothered by it. So, do you have anything else to say to our lovely and adoring fans before we go?
I appreciate everyone that continues to reach out, continues to watch and share and like and support this crazy little dream of ours. We cannot wait to share what we do at the draft. Not in the hotel room. That's just weird. And private, by the way. Um, we're gonna have boots on the ground. We're gonna be talking to actual fans who don't know who the fuck we are. We're gonna have all kinds of pictures and coverage from from the draft, would unfortunately, Higgins has an infant who just happened to be born around the best time of the year,
It's gonna be
so we
two.
will be back home. Yeah, she's going to be 2, and she doesn't have a job yet, so
I
it's
know.
just
She's the fucking
fucking
worst.
come on now, millennials, right? No, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck they are. Anyway,
Worst.
but the big things are coming. After the draft, we're going to take a little time off, and then we're going to be back in the year when camp opens, and then we'll just play it from there. But we just really appreciate all the support we've had so far.
Yes, guys. Thank you guys so much. Keep liking, subscribing, following, doing everything you guys are doing. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. We really do appreciate it. Any engagement you guys give us too would be great. Let us know if there's anything you want our thoughts on, anything you guys want us to cover. Like I said, if you're in the Pittsburgh area, please come out and buy us a drink because I would love to drink for
Amen.
free. Also, one tidbit of news. I did mention a while back about TikTok and stuff like that. That is becoming more and more of a reality, especially drum roll. That's a really bad drum roll. I'm buying a house, and I will not have to keep taking down my recording equipment every time I record. I'm going to have an actual recording station, which will make doing videos and stuff a lot easier and more convenient rather than I got to get my kid out of the room. I got to set all this up. It'll turn on the PC. It takes me probably about 20 minutes to a half hour to get everything set up and working the way I need it to be. Well, I'm going to have the PC set up. I'm going to have everything set up. I'll have the camera already set up, the mic set up, everything like that. So any breaking news, anything like that, I feel like making anything I'm like, hey, jump on, we'll cover this real fast. Like breaking news like, oh my God, Max Crosby was traded to the Ravens. We don't have to wait a week to get into it, to fit into the schedule. I'll have everything already set up, ready to go. Break the news real fast, maybe do a live, and get some more engagement from you guys, more engagement from everyone around the world and the States and stuff like that. So that is the news. I will be in that house before draft day. So before the draft, I will have all that set up, hopefully sooner than later, but mid-April to end of April. I mean, it might be right after the draft. Either way, it'll be April. I will be in that house, and I'll have everything set up, and we'll get started on the talks of ticks and all that stuff. So
I forgot. I did have one question for you.
Oh, God.
We'll work on it. That was as bad as Duval. I can see
That,
it straight into your chair.
that was really bad. That was Duval. All right, calm down, Liam Cohen. Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey, it worked out for him. He turned that around. We're going to turn this around.
You know what's going to happen?
So-
They're going to trade for Crosby now that you fucking did that. All right. I'll tell you to do it every episode then. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right. We love you guys. We'll be back next week with our first mock draft. Lopes will be hot, bothered, and horny about the whole thing. Expect some sexiness and some weird faces the entire time. Thank you guys so much for listening, following, subscribing, and showing some love. Here's our love. We love you, and goodbye.